What's up, everyone? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to show it to you right now. This is the new album from the band Katalepsy entitled Autopsychosis. This is released on Unique Leader Records. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they're based out of Moscow, Russia. And the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very straightforward, traditional style of brutal death metal. But over the years, this has been a band that has really stepped their game up on both a musical and lyrical level. When I think of this band, I remember their 2007 debut entitled Music Brings Injuries. I can finally remember how I got introduced to it. I was listening to some internet radio. I don't remember what kind. I think it was like a devourment radio station or something like that. And I believe the song Sluggish Cranial Grinding came up from this band. I thought it was pretty sick. Very rugged, very slam orientated, very sick stuff. Very impressive for the kind of debut it was. And I also remember the Mortician cover that they did, Rabid, not too long ago. It was some really sick stuff. I mean, nothing you haven't heard before, but still some really impressive brutal death metal. I dug their debut. But ever since that debut, there's been a lot of changes. New lineups, new band members, new kinds of sounds, and it was evidented through some single tracks and EPs and all this other stuff. Now we get to 2013 and we have their second full length entitled Autopsychosis. It's 11 tracks and it runs about 40 minutes in length. And listening to this album for multiple times, this really shows that Katalepsy have taken a complete 180-degree turn as far as what kind of sound they bring and what kind of ideas they bring to the table. And really, this is the kind of brutal death metal that really is going to set a new high standard. Basically, Katalepsy have set the bar very high for brutal death metal, and I'm very pleased and very excited with this album. There is a lot to love about it, and there is so much to appreciate about the kind of direction and style that this band takes. The guitars on this record sound absolutely flooring. I really enjoy the type of guitar work that's on here. The riffs tend to be a lot more heavy, a lot more punchy. There's a little bit of a technical prowess in some tracks. Like, I want to say the opening track, Lurking in the Depth. There's some really infectious, catchy stuff going on with the guitars on that track. And to some later tracks like Cold Flesh Citadel and Unearthly Urge to Supremacy, there's some really awesome guitar riffing on those tracks. Even the solos that appear on here are absolutely beautiful. Really awesome stuff. Yeah. Like I said, this is a complete difference from what you used to hear from this band. And it just sounds awesome. And the bass is another crucial element of this record. The bass is very audible in the mix. It it suits itself perfectly with the guitar. You can hear the bass tone very good, very well. It's not over loud, but it's loud enough to where you can hear it, and it's played great. I really dig the bass tones on this record, and there's just a lot of stuff to appreciate about it, even when you just hear the bass on its own. It's very crucial, and I enjoy that aspect of this record. Um, Drum-wise, there is a lot of variation and creativity with the drums. You're going to get some really good, solid blast beats. Um, Nothing you wouldn't hear on other brutal death metal records, but still the kind of drumming that you hear sounds really good, and it's very creative too. Just the way the cymbals are, the double bass, the snare, everything sounds good. It sounds pretty modern, pretty up to date when it comes to like how a brutal death metal record would sound. These drums sound really awesome, and I appreciate the production that's put into this drumming style. Very creative and unique. I appreciate the uniqueness of the drums on this record. And now we get to the vocals. If I'm not mistaken, this is a new singer. I think his name is Igor. He sings in another really awesome Russian brutal death metal band called Big and Bolt. If you haven't heard them, check them out. They're awesome too. But good God, the vocals that this guy delivers here on this record are wow. He has a guttural vocal style that's very unique and diverse. He can be very mid-range to low, very guttural. You can understand what he says, but when his voice gets lower and you can't understand what he says, it's fantastic. I really enjoy his vocal deliveries, his vocal patterns. It's different, and I enjoy that a lot. There's a lot to appreciate about this kind of vocal style. I mean, it's fun to have just. I mean, sometimes in brutal death metal, you get the kind of guttural vocal low that's a little monotone. I don't like to say the word monotone because I enjoy low vocals like that, but you just get straight low vocals and nothing else. But this is a kind of low vocal that's very awesome. I really dig this guy's vocal style. And another thing to point out is the fact that the lyrical content of this record is just really solid. I mean, blood, guts, and gore lyrics and brutal death metal is all good and fine and dandy with me and everything, but when you get into more complex details, some creative songs, structurings, creative lyrics, that's a plus for me in brutal death metal. I mean, some of these songs are just really awesome. I mean, like Amongst Phantom Worlds, um, The Pulse of Somnambulist. I probably said that wrong. Sorry about that. And some of the earlier tracks, even Evidence of Near Death. Great music video, by the way, but the song itself is super sick. There's a lot of good moments to be had, some pretty mosh and slam-worthy moments on this record. So overall, Katalepsy have set a new standard for brutal death metal, in my opinion, and with the Autopsychosis, this is just a taste of what great brutal death metal is still to come in 2013. This is a really solid album, and I know there's still more great records to come, but as far as I'm concerned, Katalepsy deliver a hit with this one. If I had to pick any favorite tracks, I would definitely say Lurking in the Depth, Evidence of Near Death, Cold Flesh Citadel, Unearthly Urge to Supremacy, and Amongst Phantom Worlds. Some awesome creativity with that song. So I'm going to show you the album again. This is Autopsychosis by Katalepsy. This is released on Unique Leader Records. Buy this wherever you're able to, and this gets an 8.5 out of 10. Awesome, awesome stuff. Complete 180-degree turn from where this band used to be. I like where they're at now, and I hope they stay that way. So support Katalepsy. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks all for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel, and until the next time, Armijo out.